Well, it goes back to way back when we first started YouTube. We had like our secret project of the CHIwave.
Yeah.
Which was Simpson Wave, but done with. Well, you tell the whole concept.
Well, yeah. So it was. I feel like giving it away is breaking the spirit of the original project.
Well, it's all broken up and put all in different places, anyways.
I guess
and right here and right here, we'll put what they look like in the video as we're watching it. Tell the story.
But I also like an art project that you'll never understand or even see.
Yeah, that makes it all the more enticing if you tell it now.
Okay. This is the exclusive. I'm never going to explain it again. But so CHIwave was inspired by Vaporwave and Simpsons Wave of like this nostalgia for a fake future. Is what one musicologist put it.
Or many.
Yeah. That it's So anyway, we made these videos based. So Simpson Wave.
You don't need to explain what Simpson Wave is. We'll say go do your homework yourself.
It bears on what we did. That what Simpson Wave is taking up clips of The Simpsons and setting it to melancholy music. And for months fought with myself over whether this was art or whether I even liked it, but it was definitely like intriguing enough for me to get stuck on.
And we went through big discussions of like how it's similar to putting on your vinyl Pink Floyd and watching Wizard of Oz, or this kind of like random juxtaposition mashups have been going on for a long time.
Pastiche as a postmodern art form is valid and does create some interesting work. But so for us, one of the things that was like stuck out that was annoying about it was like why I feel it was uncreative is that you're taking these clips of The Simpsons and putting this melancholy music, but it's under the fair use clause, and not that legality is a measure of creativity, but fair use says you've taken someone else's work and transformed it, but you've taken it and just continued the original feeling of a clip. Like if it was like Lisa feeling sad and you have sad music, you're just doing what the original clip was already doing, and kind of worse and more obvious. And so that's
more artistic though than what that entire meme culture itself is. Now the fact that we have actual like prime time TV that will cut away to TV from 20 years ago to if there's like, hey, here's a joke. Remember when John Belushi did it? Like, that's so prevalent at this point. Like, that makes Simpsons Wave seem brilliant compared to...
Right, but I'm mad all over again. You can't just take the original creator's intent and then also do that and have that be considered original.
Yeah.
And, okay, maybe the argument there is the point is that it's not original. Mm-hmm. But that's shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not alone in feeling that's what Family Guy is. It's just crap.
Right, and but just because you have a pretentious name for it as a movement, and you've put some bleeps and bloops that make it feel like it's an analog recording that's somewhat degraded, and so you've co-opted that melancholy that the degradation brings, doesn't mean you've made an authentic piece of art.
Like I was saying in our last episode.
I'm all heated up over
Well, that's what
again.
you're supposed to be, because this is infuriating, especially as artists. I was saying about lo-fi, getting kicked out of the lo-fi Reddit.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what lo-fi was. You're making fake lo-fi, which is fine, but call it post-lo-fi or something, and don't say that. Like, if somebody shows you what lo-fi is, actual, like, this is how it was made, and be like, that's a lie.
Right.
Like,
well, because there's a difference to me.
Like if someone showed you The Simpsons and said, like, look at this sad episode with Lisa, and you're like, oh, that's really sad. And they're like, what if I put sad music over it? You're like, that doesn't make me sadder, except for the fact that like now you've just watered down everything.
Looped it.
Yeah, you looped it.
Sad music over it. But like, so you kind of felt differently than me. I can't remember his name, but there was an artist I heard on Radiolab who his whole project was he had actual analog tapes and was looping them and recording them of orchestral recordings that he himself made. And as the recording, because it was tape, as it went through and through and through, the sound really degraded over time until it was just nothing.
And this was analog
it was
sound that was done
true
digitally.
Analog, that was music he had recorded.
And digitally degraded, or was
no,
it
no,
analog
it was
degraded?
The tape itself physically degraded.
So it was actual tape that he was using of analog recordings.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
he had an analog tape that he I think the final recording was a digital recording of the degradation.
Because we listened to it online.
Yeah. So at some point it did get digitized, but the degradation itself was actually the tape falling apart. And I'll have to put his name in the description.
It was fascinating. We listened to the whole thing.
Yeah,
it was. I mean.
And then you were like, "I'm so annoyed by this."
I am annoyed because I've done it by accident, and to hear that somebody has done it on NPR or whatever is just like. And it's like 20 years old, and like I did it 20 years ago as a fun thing to find like somebody.
No, he's not 20 years old. I think he's older than that. He's like maybe your age.
No, that's what I mean. Like the recording itself was like 10, 20 years ago that he did it.
I don't remember the details.
Oh, I mean, he's my age doing it.
Yeah.
What annoyed me was that like there's people that are, I mean, famous is not the right word, but like
I can't even remember.
Something that like I used to do as like a dipshit fun thing to do in my room when I was a kid is something that's like being present on NPR in a way that.
Well, that's the frustration of minimalism, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That everybody has.
Right.
Like you just put these tube lights in a position.
Yeah.
What's the art? You just painted these thin triangles or rectangles around the edge of the frame. What's the art?
Well, I mean, I would posit I don't have the recordings anymore, but mine were better than his. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But,
well, and that's where I've because I am afraid of attention, I guess. I've long considered the value of art that no one can interact with. And so is that your art project? Did you make an art project and just nobody but you gets to know it? I like to think yes.
I like to think I made it and it's better than everyone else's and just no one would ever hear it because I never got a chance to play it for anybody.
Well, that's the same thing I'm saying.
Well, and
But well, I guess I'm saying there's beauty in that.
Yeah.
The experience is so ephemeral that you can't share it with anybody else.
And when it gets back to something, not just Simpsons Wave, but that mashup in general, like we just...
Simpsons Wave makes me so angry.
We just watched because this is right after Halloween that we're taping this, and we just watched the Ghostbusters 9 Inch Nails mashup.
Oh, yeah, the Ray Parker Jr.
Trent Reznor.
Yeah,
that like
someone mixed together closer
with Ghostbusters,
with the Ghostbusters
Afraid of Ghosts thing.
And it really, really works.
It's fantastic.
Maybe we'll link that too.
Everyone should see that. And again, we're talking about mashups of like what exactly is it that makes that good? I mean, we could have an entire
transformative.
Right.
That's why.
Exactly.
That's my
point.
issue with Simpsons Wave. It's not transformative, but a good mashup takes two unrelated songs and makes a third thing out of them.
Mm-hmm. Which is how Beck got an entire career. So, yeah.
Yes.
CHIwave.
Now I got lost. Oh, yeah. CHIwave. So CHIwave was kind of that response to don't take other people's work and just slap a new coat of paint on it and call it yours.
So the idea was kind of what we're building on, or what I'm talking about. It wasn't the recording that I was talking about, but it was recordings that I had made 20, 30 years ago that were done on analog tape.
Yeah.
And the idea was, let's take those, and you are going to write a fake article.
And with videos that was also video we had taken.
Right. So we're creating our own Simpsons for you to imprint a story of a person, a fictitious person.
Yeah. So we created these mood music pieces with the accompanying video that's like manipulated and glitchy looking in the style of Vaporwave and Simpsons Wave. Simpsons Wave as a category.
Leave the Simpsons out.
Yeah. They're covered.
The story is fascinating, but we don't have it anywhere else. So you're telling the story now where you found this.
So we wanted to make a art hoax, kind of.
Yeah.
And so I made up this story of that these pieces we were posting online, a neighbor had found because their nephew or their niece or something. I tried to make a lot of the people involved women. Had done at art school in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that, because China
the
actually...
The bastion of lo-fi technology.
China actually did have a very active, and still does have a very active video art movement, starting in the 90s. Video art became really, not popular is not the right word, but like...
Significantly.
Significant. So we wanted
We found documentation on it.
That part is true. That part's true. That video art had a big explosion here in the 90s. And so we said that these were works by an unknown artist who had never published them before and that we got permission to publish them. And then... The idea being that somebody in our building found out that we were doing videos and said that they found a box by a foreigner that had lived here and was doing these experiments. Yeah. Which it was, the author wasn't a foreigner, but a foreigner maybe had worked with them. I forget the whole details.
Wasn't the author was you?
No, the hoaxy purported author of these videos, creator of these videos, was a Chinese person.
Uh-huh.
It's complicated. And then...
So a box of these old tapes were found.
Yeah, so we, our neighbor found these tapes and was like, I forget why she wanted to give them to us, but she did. There was a...
We never actually finished the story, which is why I don't think it's that important.
Yeah.
How much we bungle it right now.
And so then that also interwove... So we had the video on YouTube, and then in the description I'd tell the story of how we found these videos, interwove with like new media critique by me. That was true.
So the original thing was an analog 4-track piece that I wrote like 20, 30 years ago and recorded.
Yeah.
We made a new video full of video images that we've taken here in Luzhou.
Over the past 8 years.
Yep, and doctored those to make them look like they were from the 90s, so that they were full video pieces of Chinese 90s lo-fi film experiments that we were now releasing, and you were writing the article on discovering these in a basement of somebody's house.
Writing the story of how they had come into our possession, but then also writing essays in an attempt to do new media critique, and then also like play with, because we at the time, part of it was that our channel was being seen by no one, and so like what happens if I write like crazy nonsense that nobody looks at, and if you come across that one day, like
it could be a fun. I mean, it's kind of like one of the games that like Poppy or Dad channels or something is playing now.
We were hopefully creating the joy of discovery for somebody else through this like fake-o thing that we were never going to acknowledge was fake, but we just did, giving up the game. Although the videos are not up in their original state.
They're all jumbled up in different ways.
The essays do not exist anymore. They might exist in a Word document on our computers. Right.
But I love the story of as an artistic project, making a fake art, which putting it out this way, I'm like thinking like, this is our second movie. We should just write this as a... It's a great story.
Yeah, I do.
So let's know more about it. But we haven't actually like thought through, other than we were going to make a weird little project on YouTube that was sort of examining our obviously volatile feelings about Simpsons Wave or things mash up like that.
Yeah, and what does it mean to create new media work when so much of new media is recycling old media?
And what if we took our own old media,
and lied about it,
and said it was older than it even was?
Yeah.
But at what point, I love the idea of like, if it is somebody else's work and you're taking and manipulating it, just like any kind of, you know, sampling of James Brown or something. But what if you're sampling yourself? Like, it's not like other artists haven't done that. Artists love to quote themselves of, I mean...
Yeah, well, and I like the idea that, like, okay, the basic unit of music is notes, but then you can have samples as kind of its own phoneme of music, and like a piece of video as a phoneme of your final product.
Yeah.
And like a lot of stuff that I like that does that is like using found sound or found you know, found video.
Yeah.
But so
I'm sure there's
if it's a repurposing
a certain
yeah.
Like there's 100 sounds that you're going to, whoever's listening to that is going to be like I didn't invent that sound, like somebody programmed that sound and then 3 people used that in 3 famous songs.
Right.
Somewhere.
Well, and then you get into where like the Moog sampler was just a recording of sound that it would play the recording, right? Yeah. And that actually seems like a special thing to do versus like digitally creating these instrument sounds. I mean, not that that's not special, but
well, it's all
I'm cul-de-sacking.
It's a huge. I mean, and people have written books and documentaries, and I mean, we could talk about this for the rest of our YouTube channel forever.
Yeah.
This whole world of what is, are the Beatles just revamping, you know, Elvis revamping Bessie Smith, or like, I mean, at what point is it just useless anymore? That we just end up with whatever country star and
that's pop. Elvis is a loaded example because it is like
never meant shit to me. He
cleaned up black culture for consumption by white America. And that's, you know, that's bad.
Yeah. But like, at the same time,
also if your art is going to be mass market for white people, is that what I'm saying? Then it does need to be sanitized a bit. But does sanitized just mean like removing
hips,
blackness? No, now I'm going down a very scary road. But like because Elvis, as an appropriator, I think we can safely use that word. It's also that he was mass market.
Yep.
It's not like this guy, this minimalist composer that we were just talking about with the recordings. I don't know if you can steal.
No, he stole it from me.
He stole it from you. You could steal his idea and make it more mass market, and it would be less special.
I'm sure I mean, everyone has
but
at this point.
But doing that would maybe be less problematic unless he is also African American.
But yeah, that is an example itself. Like just that kind of noise manipulation of found field music it's everywhere. It's in reality TV. Every time you hear a rah, it's going to swish out of it's sampled from somewhere of some noise that somebody else, Philip Glass or something, like spent a decade working on, and somebody's like, Jeff Ramsey.
Yeah. Excuse me.
You worked yourself up and down a frenzy.
Yeah. CHIwave takes it out.
Every time. That's why it's the project that will destroy you every time we bring it up.
Well, that's with that was a good one of like we could feel when it had run its course. Because you making the videos, you were like, I could make these all day.
Yeah.
But
and
then
I made like 13 of them, and I was like getting a little tired of it.
Yeah, and we kind of had run out of things to say about it, and also like I do think we didn't say what happened in the story, but we brought it to a natural end.
Yeah. A David Lindemoff ending.
Yeah.
Everything, they all turned into smoke and became a different channel.
It was purgatory all along. But and then like I'll artistically retroactively justify it because that's how a lot of online projects do end. It's like I was really interested in this and now I'm not. It's over.
And now, like, talking about it, like, I do think it is a really great story. Like, if we were to write a completely fictional movie like this, would be very exciting.
You're not kidding about this could be a movie.
Yeah.
So we'll hold on to that.
Watch out for that in the upcoming years.
Yeah.